Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you today? It's Ken at 10 o'clock every morning. We're here. If you haven't been before, lovely to meet you. Ken at 10 is all about the local property market, local things going on right here, broadcast live in SW16 in Norbury. And nice to virtually meet you if you haven't been here before. If you've been here before and you're coming back, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. I went to see somebody last night and I was very surprised when I showed my card for evaluation and the lady said to me, I know you, you're Ken at 10. It was just lovely to see that actually this really works. So thank you for everybody that's watching. We're most grateful that you do. So a few things. It's Ask JA Tuesday. Every Tuesday, we try and look for questions from you, the viewers, with your property related issues and see if we can help you with the particular issues. Couple of questions today, which I'll come back to in a moment. Just on to general news first of all. Really good to see this. The Bank of England economist, Andy Haldane, he's the chief economist, says the UK economy has seen a V-shaped recovery bounce back following the coronavirus crisis. This is what we want to hear, not the W that's so often mooted and the second wave that we worry about, but actually they're saying that a V-shaped recovery is now likely, and that is fantastic news for the economy. Let's get things moving again. That on top of the fact that the market is now really busy because people are looking at the stamp duty thing. And that brings me on to our questions. We have two questions. The first one from John. He says, when should I move in light of the new announcements? John, thanks for the question. And by the way, if you have any questions for the next one, please do direct message us, email us, ken@jamesalexander.com, or give us a call, anything you like, really. And we'll try and include your question for you. So, John, in terms of when to move, I think now, normally I'd be saying at this time of year, hold on till September. And I'll tell you why. When the children are off school and it's holiday time, mum and dad, generally speaking, want to be enjoying the children out in the park, on a plane, visiting friends and relatives, and really enjoying their time together as any family would. And with that in mind, many of them actually put a hold on their search. However, because of coronavirus, we've all been at home largely anyway because of furlough. So I think it's a very different year this year. That on top of the fact that we now have this stamp duty holiday, I think it's actually an ideal time to think about moving. And I'll tell you why I say that. Because we've got this stamp duty holiday. It's going to last until next March. At the moment, prices haven't been impacted greatly, but they're certainly strengthening. And that's good news. And so there could be an argument for holding. But actually, if you're moving somewhere else, it's paper money, isn't it? Because whatever you gain by waiting for any potential price rises, you end up paying the other end for the one you're buying, for most of us anyway. So from that point of view, I wouldn't worry too much about that. I'd say, normally I say move when the time is right for you. But, you know, government legislation changes things. And for me, this changes things again. So because of this situation, I would say because of COVID, August is not going to be normal. Well, nothing's really normal, is it? You know, we're in the new normal, aren't we? I mean, the lady that I met last night said that her firm had never done remote working before, and they use key performance indicator to check how staff are doing. And she said that all of the staff had exceeded their key performance indicators, meaning that her company will likely reconsider and employ people working from home for the first time. And I guess that may be true for many companies. So we could be seeing a sea change, particularly in central London, in the way structure of companies and how they work, which is really interesting. And what we could end up with is what's been mooted a lot is the donut-shaped recovery, which is an interesting term, where peripheral towns such as Norbury and surrounding London may thrive, but actually the centre of London may suffer dramatically because companies may choose to pull away from the centre. It's no longer necessary to be so on top of your work all of the time when you can work remotely. We've all used to Zoom now. It's become a household word, hasn't it? But yeah, back to the question, John's question, when should I move? So normally I'd suggest September because the children are back from school, mum and dad are just about ready. And in our area, it's mostly families drive the moves forward. But this year, I think it's very different because of coronavirus, because we've all been off with the children and on a kind of holiday anyway. And I think that people will look to move much earlier. So I think right now, certainly we're experiencing good levels of registration. Everyone's confident about the marketplace because of the stamp duty. So I think it's a very, very good time to be thinking about moving right now. If you're already on the market with your agent, you're not having any success, then give us a call, because we do have a plan for those of you that are already on the market and not having success, to make sure that we give you the best possible chance of selling. And it's not necessarily all about price. There are several things that we do differently, as those of you who regularly watch will know. And the second question is, and this comes from Ethel, and she says, should I sell or buy first? I have a property to sell. Should I wait until I find what I'm looking for, or should I sell my house first? Well, Ethel, my answer to you is you should definitely sell first, and I'll tell you why. As estate agents, we need to be ruthless on behalf of our clients in protecting their interests. So let's say, for instance, Ethel, you come and offer on a property that we've got on the market right now, and you're not under offer. The cliche phrase we always hear is, but my agent tells me it will go quickly. We don't know that necessarily, especially if you're coming from another area to a new area. That may not be the case. So how can we then be sure that your property will sell for the amount that you expect it to sell for, or in a time frame indeed that's reasonable for our client? We just don't know. So what happens is, we would then normally say to you, look, your offer, you're not really in a strong negotiating position. Your offer would have to be the asking price to be of interest to our clients, at least. And then, of course, many people that are in love with the property they've seen, because house buying is not just about money, it's emotive, will go to the asking price in order to try and secure it. And then the agent's stock response, including ours, would normally be, well, actually, we're really pleased, our client's pleased that you've offered the asking price and the offer is acceptable to them. However, the property will stay on the market until yours is sold. So let's think about this. What have they actually gained here? Now, they're in a huge hurry to sell their own. What does that mean? Probably they'll take the first offer that comes along in order to secure the new love of their lives, a new home, because mentally, people do move into their new home. When they see their family barbecuing in that garden, they really want to get there right now. And so they end up in a panic and selling for less than perhaps they would have got if they didn't have that pressure. So my answer to you, Ethel, is definitely sell first. And then let's turn that conversation around. Imagine you see the dream property then that you really like. You can go to your agent and say, well, really, really love that house you've got on the market. And it's not that I'm arguing over the price. I think the price is a good price. But unfortunately, I've had to take a bit of a hit on my price with everything going on. Here's my agent's card. I'm under offer. Now, all of a sudden, we want to talk to that person because we know that they can move our client. And we're now going to take that offer very, very seriously, because in the end, we're here to help our clients move. So I hope that helps, Ethel. So the answer to your question is, number one, John, your question, great time to move right now. I wouldn't hang on for September, because you don't need to in this market, in my view. And that's what's really changed. Normally, I'd say hang on after the holidays. We do traditionally get really busy in September, but I think now's as good a time as any. So that's John. And John, I would also say that what we expect to happen is, coming towards the deadline next year in March, prices will dramatically jump right up to that deadline and then possibly dip afterwards. But in the meantime, come October, November this year, we can expect to see large scale redundancies, and with them, some of the capability of buyers that thought they were going to buy a new home maybe will be put on hold while they look for new jobs, or maybe they won't buy at all. So we could expect a bit of a lull as well come late in the year. And that's why I think now is a critically good time to actually think about moving. And Ethel, I hope that explains your question. The best thing to do is sell first. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that's all very well, Ken, but what when I've sold and I can't find, what happens then? And I absolutely agree with you. That's a real risk. But if you're honest with your buyers and you say, look, cards on the table, I haven't found yet. You now need to wait for me while I go out and find a property. Most buyers will respect and understand that. I'm not saying that they'll wait forever. They really won't. But they will give you a reasonable length of time in order to go and find somewhere to purchase. And if you're being reasonable in your expectation of what you're buying, then you should find. And I always say, if you can't find what you're looking for, where you're looking, then there's always two options: either more money, not really an option for many of us, other areas, or the third one is lower your sights. Perhaps, do you really need that garage? Does the garden have to be 100 foot? Does it have to be in that street? Could it be in a wider context than you've initially imagined? Maybe consider neighboring areas, which can come up cheaper. There are lots of things you can do to tweak your search to try and find your dream home. If you look at Rightmove, for instance, a good thing to do is to start by putting in your maximum price and the postcode of a road you really like in an area. And then if you're not seeing something you like, then open that search up to within a quarter mile, and then half a mile, until you see properties that fit your criterion. So I hope that's helped you, Ethon, in terms of your question, and John, in terms of yours. Apart from that, it is an absolutely stunning day today. I don't know where it's hotter than, but it's certainly looking like it's going to be an absolute stonker of a day. Hope you're having a great one. We're looking forward to a busy one here today. Lots of new valuations coming in, lots of marketing to do today as well, which we love. And we're always thinking about ways we can improve our service. And we're just getting a few new bits of kit in to make our video a little bit more impactful and impressive. Got a conference later this week as well, going all the way up to the Lake District. Looking forward to it in order to further enhance our skills. So looking forward to that too. In the meantime, if you have any questions or comments, or you just like the video, just do a like or share. We're always grateful. Apart from that, have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. Take care.